Hello and welcome back. Today we will be playing Armenia in Victoria 3. I think it's been a few days since we've played this run, although we've been uploading videos consistently. And I think looking back, that perhaps we should have stayed on landed voting instead of going for universal suffrage. We could potentially swap back now, and the reason for this is I think over time it's going to become difficult to keep the industrialist clout high enough, and that had we done stuff a little bit differently, it wouldn't have been. We would be better equipped to do that. We will be looking for ways to try and keep the industrialists high, because remember, the goal of this run is to get 5 interest groups powerful and happy with us at the same time. Currently, we have the rural folk as the last one we want to get in there, and so I've been racking my brain and thinking about it and looking at a lot of stuff, and the problem is that it's really hard to have the industrialists and the rural folk powerful at the same time, because almost everything that makes the industrialists powerful makes the rural folk weak, and vice versa. And so this is going to be an interesting problem-solving situation for our run, where we're just trying to figure that out. Now, we will be trying to... I know we have to declare a war here, or we have to find a war that's useful. We have an infamy of 0, so we could be a little bit naughty. But generally speaking, you want to always be ticking down your infamy. If you're not using your infamy decrease, you're losing it. And so this is why we'll be looking for a war that we can start. We are making quite a lot of money. I think we overall wanted to be deficit spending. The investment pool is draining really, really fast, though, so we won't increase construction or anything like that. I noticed while I was doing another video that for the first time ever, I've seen this negative qualifications tick, where we don't have enough, capitalists, but this is a very temporary thing, just something I thought would be interesting to point out. But yeah, let's try and find ourselves a war. They are in the Russian market. We will damage the relations. I believe these are a protectorate of us now, if I am not mistaken. They are, so we will eventually want to puppet Iraq. I think we have a truce with them, so we can't declare war on them. They are in the Russian market, so they're not going to want to. We could continue to take sand from the Ottomans, which in terms of, in terms of RP, if you're playing as the Armenians, you probably don't have a problem with taking lands from the Ottomans, as a general heuristic. We think Russia will side with us. See, the problem is this is just kind of a very large amount of, infamy for kind of not that useful a thing. We would rather, take South Africa, for example. Could even puppet South Africa, and we just have to worry about who joins. We do have a front with South Africa, so this wouldn't be the worst. They have 3 states, so we would rather puppet and then annex later, and this sort of thing. But this seems reasonable. Let's take a quick look at their states. Gold. Yeah, that's okay. I think we opened up the Japanese market, which is why we have a truce with them. We did want to take Beijing. I remember we actually did something in the interim. We tested something out. We tried declaring war on Beijing. Maybe it wasn't this episode, and we got Russia along with us because they are our protectorate, if I'm not mistaken. What is our relationship here? Yeah, they are our protectorate, but then this made them the war leader, and then they white-pieced out, and it was like, what? Come on, man. We do want to take Beijing. Beijing's a very nice city to take, because you have a forbidden city, which gives authority and legitimacy for the head of government being a government. But maybe we just continue and we take Oman or something? They are 2 states, so, or are they 1 state? Oh, they have a little bit of the Trucal Coast, so we could just puppet Oman. This is a pretty low amount of infamy, so we kind of want to generate more, because we will decay more in the time than it takes. So maybe we do just go after the Ottomans and go after Hudavendigar. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. which actually strategically cuts them off, just border goring them further, but it cuts half their empire off from the other. Really not too good a state, so we would just be encouraged like a whole ton of infamy for not a lot of natural resources. We know that there's no oil here. That's kind of why I'm hesitant. Like Venezuela would be much better, but we have an interest there. We can't declare an interest. I think it's because they have an overlord and they are protectorate of France, so we need to have negative relations with France in order to declare war on Venezuela. Trying to look for a good, nice little war. I mean, we could go to war with Portugal, right? We could take South Angola. 10 infamy is not too bad. This is kind of a lot of people to fight. Not a lot of powerful people, but I'm thinking just in terms of ending the war, it might take a little while. We could puppet Sulu, maybe? Nope, that's not a lot of infamy. What about Brunei? Oh, they just have just North Borneo. It'd be better just to take North Borneo. Russia sides with them, though. That's not good. Can't really have that. I mean, we are going to need rubber if we want to get free of some... Could we go after Benin? Or Congo? It's a nice little 8.5. We will get to do stuff against Portugal. Could maybe even demand off Portugal. We don't have a front there. I don't think we have a very strong navy, if my recollection serves. It was pretty strong. Led by the feminist admiral and politician. We are increasing construction. That seems... Increasing it by a lot. That seems like a little bit of a mistake. Considering this investment pool is draining so fast. It's going to be empty in 19 months. I mean, we did want a deficit spend, but I think I'm going to... Well, you know, I'm going to trust my judgment when I decided to do that. I think that that's going to be a pretty big deficit, but we'll see how that shakes out. We can always delete them later. It's not too big a deal to build construction centers and then delete them. That's a big, expensive war. Kind of don't want to rumble with the Dutch East Indies as an expensive transfer subject. Karen Uprising. I demand a manager. Just feels like we can't really quite get a war that's has a lot of the features we want. We want natural resources. We want to generate a little bit of infamy, but not a lot of it. I mean, maybe it's Puppet Chile, even though we don't have a front with them. Oh, Russia joins. Gross. Really want to go after Argentina as well. We could just take Costa Rica, which will give us 5 infamy, and yeah, let's just do that. It will give us a nice, we want an interest in this region that's natural. We want to, like, a border to maybe go into Colombia and take Panama for the Panama Canal. Also, this place, if I recall correctly, will generally generate rubber, which is, you know, something we're fine with. Yeah, rubber and coal, so like the natural resources aren't too bad. We get a little bit of strategic reasoning for having this. If no one joins them, they should just back down and we can just start another war. Although they do have max gold reserves, people are more than happy to sway in. We'll just mobilize this dude. They should be looking to back down here, I think. We up construction quite a bit. Our investment pool is draining quite fast. We would love... So we have a really large investment pool change. So it's, you know, this number minus this number. So like roughly 350k. That would get quite a lot bigger if the Industrialists were powerful. Brazil sides with Costa Rica. Okay, well that's not ideal. Or is it? Let's see, what do you want? You would be fine with a regime change. Colombia would be fine. We would be fine giving Colombia independence. Let's see if what we could take from Brazil that we'd be interested in. Because we don't have that much infamy from this. We can get another 20. Oh, we don't have interest in the region. I think that's fine. I don't think we want to take land off of Brazil. Maybe we want to liberate. But we can offer... you know... offer independence to them. We'll mobilize everyone now. Now we're running a deficit. Hiya. Pretty big one here. So this is going to drain out quickly. Mexico sides with Costa Rica. Interesting. Careful balancing act here. I think we can afford these guys becoming a little less happy with us. This is why the petite bourgeoisie being powerful and giving us this minus loan interest rate is why we want to deficit spend so much. Oh, I remember. We were trying to crank up the deficit spending because we're trying to enrich the owners of all the buildings, which are industrialists, which would hopefully increase their clout. Unfortunately, we have, you know, universal suffrage, which makes it so the increase in wealth is not that robust. It would be much better if we were on, well... you know, maybe we could pull off of universal suffrage. I think it just makes people really pissed, though. Yeah, minus 20 on the trade unionists. Industrialists would love it. This is something we might do. So Mexico joins against us. I think we have to wait on our sway before we can sway someone else. We get the nice little sway in. And we can't convince Russia anymore, because we can only do that in the opening. But we can convince the United States to join. What would you like? Return state from Mexico, I assume. But they'll take revoke claim. So let's see if there's anything we want to add before we do the revoke claim. We kind of want to live Argentina. That will take 20 maneuvers. So let's take a look. I'd rather offer them a regime change. A regime change in Brazil. And then we have 20 maneuvers left over. And we have to get our guys on the fronts. Let's just put everyone on the Brazil front for now. Except this little guy. And this guy. We'll put over here. Curious to see if this war goes through. We do have a pending request for a sway on the United States. Oh. But the Colombian guy... Colombia abandoned us. Why did they abandon us? That's kind of annoying. Because we would still like to have liberate subject in there. So, oh well. We'll try and live Argentina then. Just going to be a little bit more difficult. I guess we'll move everyone to the Mexican front. I wish we could, there was a button to move all. Would save us a little bit of clicking. Oh yeah, I just recorded a video where I moved this camera to the bottom left. I don't think this is the best place for the camera. If anyone has an opinion on it, please let me know. I'm gonna move it back though. To here-ish. Which try and lets you see the clout up at the top. That's kind of why I moved it. Not really sure where the best place for the cam is. Yeah, we're deficit spending. We're running a bunch of extra authorities, so let's try and see. I think we want to bolster somebody and suppress someone else. Yeah, let's bolster the rural folk. We do have to get them above 4% at some point. And then we can add a little bit of a consumption tax, I guess. Kind of making more money now, which is not exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to deficit spend, so we could do a little bit of this. I think that'll take us into negative. I don't think this war goes through, right? Minus 59 can go through reasonably often. The size of our loans is driving this going through more often. Oh, I forgot our investment pool was draining when I built more construction. That's a yikes. We will have to add a whole bunch to the queue. Now, hopefully, Communist Party wins by a landslide, so we will have to put them in. Unfortunately. So we have to stop suppressing the armed forces. It's interesting that the fascist party being in is more legitimate, so I guess we'll do this. Do need to try and raise the clout of the fascists a little bit. Not a lot of it. Try and get them above 20% so we can get their bonus again. This election really killed them quite a bit. Kind of unfortunate. Still trying to get a bit of the balance going on. That is not ideal. I think that is because we... It might be a bit... Either we weren't paying attention or it's because the petite bourgeoisie got weaker. Yeah, trade unionists are not particularly happy. Trying to get them strong. Really, we need to try and suppress the trade unionists. Or sorry, the industrialists are starting to get stronger. Or they're not really happy, they're starting to get strong. We could switch to elected bureaucrats, actually, I think, as part of the plan. The liberals are out of power. This will help keep the petite bourgeoisie above water. We'll do that. Still wondering if they back down here. They are minus 75 fearful. There's nothing we can do to intimidate them now. Our units arrive at the front, and Costa Rica backs down, and we just annex. Which now we have a nice little front here, as well as some territory. Of course, AI loves to build up ports. This drives me nuts in terms of AI decision making. You have a tobacco plantation and a coffee plantation. I assume you think to yourself, oh, I can't really make anything that's profitable, so instead I'll just build a port, because you never know when you're going to need a port, and then they just go, well, I don't know what's profitable, I guess I'll build a port. Well, I don't know what's profitable, I guess I'll build a port. Just into infinity, and they just build a bunch of ports, and it's like, okay. Well, you're an idiot, you just built a bunch of ports. Ugh, this is so gross. Why are you mad? I think it's discrimination. Yeah. Discrimination, low legitimacy. So we can lower taxes to increase ourselves to the next legitimacy tier. Well, that's thing one. So we can go after more countries here. We also should be able to declare a new interest now. Oh, I lied, I guess. Could go after Beijing. We really want Beijing. I don't think we can just fight Qing on our own, though. Austria might join us. What does Austria think of us? Let's try and improve relations, and if they get something other than wary, maybe we can do something like that. For now, we could just puppet Oman. Let's take a look at our infamy. Yeah, puppeting Oman I'm kind of interested in. We would also have cleaner borders, so there's that. And we face Portugal, but this is fine. I think we don't even mobilize everyone. Just 2 will do. Portugal abandons Oman, so Oman will probably just back down here. We'll just get a nice little puppet. This is a stern deficit. Russia sides with Russia. Wait, how did Russia take over this? No, we don't want this. What the fuck? Oh, come on. We don't want them to get the Omani Truco Coast. We had this war fine just by ourselves. I didn't know that your overlord could do this. This is obnoxious as hell. We didn't want him involved in this war. Because then he takes control of it, and then... Oh well, I mean, we won't have to fight a war. We're just gonna get stuff, but we sunk infamy into puppeting them, and the reason we're puppeting them instead of just taking this state is so we can get both of these, and now we can't get both of these because reasons. We would have just conquered this state. In fact, just this state would have been cheaper on the infamy than puppeting him, because we're puppeting him because he has 2 states. It's... Yeah. Ridiculous. Hey, you're still having qualifications problems. Let's try and get you to 51. You're gonna need a bit of infrastructure for that, so we will... We're really running... Man, just can't get the electricity right. I mean, this place is only making electricity, trying to employ here, but they don't want to be employed there. Sag. God, this is so obnoxious how they can come in and do this, Russia. I guess maybe we try and declare war on them. Wow, the industrialists are really collapsing here. Yeah, the trade unions. we might have to try and switch back to landed voting, which will be super uncomfortable. Oman back. Oh, but so we at least have the primary war goal, right? And so when they back down, then we don't give up the Trucal Coast. So I was just freaking out over nothing, kind of. They are currently protective of us. Time to find another war. If you're not using... We could almost chill. I think if we chill, we'll be in a little bit of trouble. We can also now just start stuff here. Colombia. Oh, looks like they got released. Maybe from Brazil. Maybe that's why. They exited the war like 15 minutes ago? Or 5-10 minutes ago? We could puppet them. That's quite a bit of infamy. And who we want to puppet is actually just Venezuela. But we can puppet annex Colombia. And then we will be in chill mode for a while, right? Got a little bit of concern we will be in the next tier of infamy, but I think that since we don't have our own market, it's really not too big a deal. We'll just take it. We'll mobilize all. We'd rather they just back down. Actually, I guess we could have seen who joins with. Peru, Venezuela. So we can't puppet either one of those. We can liberate Peru. From Peru, Bolivia. I think I like that. Now, how many states is Venezuela? Venezuela's 3 states, so I don't think I like conquering their states. It'd be a total of 35 infamy. Yeah. We could take war reps from Peru, Bolivia, and Venezuela. I think we'll leave the 35 in case we need to do anything weird, or in case someone joins. We do have everyone coming in. We can put all on this front. And if we take a look at our infamy, we're infamous. We're 35 infamous, but this isn't too bad. Colombian declared rivalry. Yeah, okay, brother. And then we do want to kind of... Let's get this over 51 as well for the throughput bonus. Or let's take a think. So let's look at our incorporated territory. Which ones have peasants and unemployed? None of them really. One moment. sorry about that. I thought I was unmuted, but I wasn't. I forgot I muted myself. We will be taking this event here because we are trying to get the trade unionists weaker, and the petite bourgeoisie stronger. So we cannot. The problem is we can't suppress them while they're in government. So what I was saying is we're really hoping that a party bloc forms between the petite bourgeoisie and either the industrialists or the intelligentsia, because this will allow us to hopefully allow them to win elections and keep the communist government out of power. Because we need to suppress these two. And of course, we're gonna try and get to the max throughput bonus on some of these buildings. I suppose. What are we researching right now? Film? That'll be nice. You're not very well employed. Kind of tempted to delete all of these and put them on tobacco. Except, I think that these are just profitable, so we'll just stick with that. Oil. And you need a railway. Yeah, alright, brother. Yeah, we are paying for a lot of ports, so I'd kind of like to get out of them somewhat soon. We're going to start damaging relations with them, because I think that might be the next major war we fight. This is against Russia. We could just expand this. They are doing quite well. Do you have... No, you don't have any, like, unemployment. Where are all our unemployed people? Unfortunately, this only shows peasants. It doesn't show unemployed. South Angola as well. You are getting employed. You are not getting employed. Now, why not? Are the inputs just too expensive? Do we need this railway first? Yeah, we need the railway first. Okay. And then they should figure out employing. I think we have, yeah, auto expand. This will be auto expand as well. South Angola had a lot of peasants. So what do we want here? So tobacco would be the most profitable. Do we have a place where we're producing cotton though? Just in terms of thinking about protecting the domestic product, we do. Alright. How are you on infrastructure? You're real good. Okay, we cannot establish a new colony as a result of our efforts. Switch to this view. It's easier in this tab to put in the auto expansion. Alright. Things are coming along quite nicely. Yeah, sorry about the audio earlier. Yeah, we really wish we could suppress them. Almost got the fascists to being powerful again, which is what we want. To keep them between 20 and 18%. Yeah, I might try and go back up this route a little bit. Let's look where we have the most peasants. Sinai still, South Angola, Trucal Coast, Armenian East Angola. You have a bit of infrastructure to work with. Building 2 of these, so why don't we build a couple more of each? Yeah. Oh, God. This electricity is killing me, man. I don't think I have a better PM for it. I think that they have patched it to cause this a little bit more. But also our labor is so expensive that it makes sense. Everything is also equilibrium adjusted. It's not like a huge catastrophe when this is the case. You really don't need the cars. Do have a shortage. These are fairly profitable, so why don't we do some of this? Just quickly look through the PMs. We did acquire a new state, so guess we could take a closer look at that. So we acquired Costa Rica. Now your employment is not very good in either one of these, but it's particularly bad in this. Even though it says it's more profitable, that's a bit interesting. We don't have a lot of places that produce sugar, so we might want to switch this to a sugar thing. But why don't we decide that later? For now, if we do this, we'll give a ton of infrastructure. And then gonna get migration to fill that up. And then why don't we just tier 1 in all these and let them auto expand. So we'll switch to this to make it auto expansion easier. How are we doing here? Let's do that. You are having trouble employing. Yeah, I mean, almost tempted to go protectionism or interventionalism just so I can subsidize the electricity, but it equilibriums out. It's just inefficient. We might do this next. Okay. I don't think we need more prestige here. I think I'm a fan of the pop attraction for the petite bourgeoisie. Trying to get them over 20% so they're powerful. Same with the industrialists. We really want to be able to weaken the armed forces. We want them around 5% clout. This also would make it harder for the communists to win elections. So these aren't all that profitable, but I have like unlimited infrastructure, or I have like 500 infrastructure in the capital. So we'll just do all that. This is mainly just going to increase the throughput bonus here from economies of scale. We have the Veiled Protectorate, but it's going to time out. We have to make them a subject of Armenia? I don't think that's happening. We have... Well, I guess we could puppet them. I mean, we're not Diplo getting them, so we would have to militarily get them. We have pretty good literacy. I think part of that's by the fact that we can't attract these pops, man. Shakes fist at national supremacy. You know, we need to have, like, let's take a look at Armenia. You know. People are immigrating from it. It is overpopulated, though. We could even think of moving the capital to not Armenia. We do have forever bonuses there, though, but... I don't know. The RP in me makes me want to not do that, but I think it would be better to move it to, like, somewhere else, maybe. Now that we're over 50% here, I do think I'm going to take this. We could decrease the... Ah, there we go. I actually want the armed forces weaker, so we might even pay them less than... I mean, they're happy with us. We're going to pay them less, and then we're going to... Since increasing... 75 is the threshold for getting into contested government, we're actually going to increase taxes 2 notches and just try and slow that down a little bit. It's not exactly ideal, but it's what we'll do for now. Let's play some whack-a-mole here. You'll need it eventually. And we're planning on putting more coal mines down here, so we will expand that a little bit more. Let's get you to 51, my friend. Probably need another rail for that. See, what I don't like is this giving us a penalty of 7% on the output of our transportation, but also our infrastructure. We don't really care about... Well, I mean, we care about goods shortages, but it's not the end of the world. Except when it's messing with your infrastructure, then it's kind of bad. So, you know, shortages of these 3 products is kind of bad. Yeah. Ooh. That certainly can't be ideal. We'll make this a millet focus place. There we go. I think we're not going to increase construction for a little bit. We're kind of having some pains in the fact that we're not we're not getting as much migration as we'd like. Which, surprise, surprise, no one wants to come to the nationally supremacist guy's place. Should have seen this one coming. Got a little bit more infrastructure. I think these places are nowhere near full employment, though. Why don't we delete these two, so we can figure out what we want later. Stamp out monarchism. Gotta put the past behind us. Make them lose the scholar gentry, junker, and paternalist. Oh, all of these. So these are... I think ours is paternalist. And all these are the unique ones. I know scholar gentry is China's unique one. Junker, I think, is Austria's. Here, we can move this over so you can see better. I think Junker is Prussia's. I don't know what pontifical is. I'm guessing it's... maybe Italy or Russia, and I don't know who has elitas. Oh, they gain elitas. Yeah, we put the past behind us. Petite bourgeoisie. Almost gonna unlock this low interest rate. Really want that. Given how we're doing this. What is this? Okay. I think I like giving him popularity and attraction. This is gaining clout pretty quick here. So we might swap him to the Intelligentsia, or swap our bolster to the Intelligentsia. Alternatively, we can take this off. This is just not doing anything for the rural folk. It's just... it's too slow. So we will instead put in some consumption taxes to help throttle this deficit. We're just spending a ton on government wages. Notice our standard of living is starting to come down now. This is because we increased taxes. But I think this is okay. Really would just love to be suppressing these two, but we can't while they're in government. Or can we figure out a way to take them out? No, not really. Because this guy won the election. I wonder why this guy didn't... So this guy is the leader. I wonder if it's because we put the petite bourgeoisie in government, or what? Oh, I haven't looked at these in a hot minute. Okay, you're fine. It's electricity, electricity, electricity. I mean, we could turn off electrical production some places, but that won't solve the problem, because, you know, if we bring down the price of electricity, just fewer places will employ. Making some money now. This transfer rate is... this is fine. Maybe we could even... No, we don't want to decrease the taxes. We're making money because we're not building at our max capacity. I realized. There's the negative. Even if this place... Oh, it is fully employed. I was going to say, even if it's not, this will help our economies of scale bonus here. They are infamous now, so it would be a good time to declare war on them for independence. I think we don't want to run this... Well, that's a pretty small malice. And we're nowhere near bonuses on these guys. Man, just the fascists are happy with us? Standard of living is crashing, that's why. We are going to have to slowly delete some construction. We are paying so much in subsidies for the rails. Part of this is electricity being expensive. Maybe we just swap off of electric railways. We can certainly swap off it here, right? Because we have so much infrastructure. Let's do that. Nope, we couldn't swap off of that. Now we don't have enough infrastructure. Okay. Let's go back to electric. Gonna have to start decreasing construction centers, though. Construction goods are expensive. What are our construction goods here, anyways? Tools are really expensive, so can we... I think we're just building those in Armenia. Oh, and they're fully employed and they're expensive? Yeah, we can expand this. Alternatively, we can make tooling somewhere else as well. I think I like that. You have 10k unemployed, 10k unemployed, 10k... Wait, what? How do you all have exactly 10k unemployed? That's so wild. You have 20k there. Russia must be exporting a lot of these tools, though. Interpretation of dreams? Hell yeah. We're gonna get some Freud. Oh. Just kidding. It's not Freud, it's Vanna Sadins. This must be localized, but he is a cocaine addict, charismatic, ambitious guy. Which is exactly what we wanted. God, my kingdom to finish this law so we can go steam turbine, so we can maybe have profitable... Maybe we just needed to, you know, conquer New York for the, for this electricity building throughput. Yeah, I don't think we're gaining enough reserves from out of here. Let's take a look at our queue. And, move a bunch of these tooling workshops to the top. How much are we paying a lot for welfare? A little bit. That's not the problem. The problem is the subs. Maybe the tooling will even start clearing some stuff out. We also don't have full market access? Yeah. Well, I mean, part of the problem is these railways, man. You're employing more. Standard of living is coming down, which is decreasing our costs. We just don't want it to decrease too fast, because then everyone gets mad. Which everyone is mad. I think we could stop bolstering, which of course we cannot put down a new one of those, but what we can do. Alright, film unlocked, we get elected bureaucrats. These guys will be doing a little bit better. Moving forward, we could put in a new consumption tax. We'll put it on luxury clothes. Kind of tempted to decrease this 2 notches, kind of can't afford it. But we'll go steam turbine and hopefully be able to solve our electricity problem, because it is causing problems now. And then what's our relationship with you look like? It's still cordial, plus 40. Don't want to expel diplomats. Our kingdom for a hero to take on our debt at this point. Would really love that. Let's see if we can annex Oman yet. No. Did we puppet anyone else? I don't think we did. I think we just annexed over here. Yeah, we did. Kinda don't want to get naughty. Just finally became reputable again. Which is, I'm guessing, why Burma decided we suddenly want to be friends, and Isaac suddenly wants to be friends, and Macron suddenly wants to be friends. Really staying under 25 is kind of critical. Definitely struggling a little bit. Like, national supremacy sucks. I think multiculturalism is much better, because then we would get a whole bunch of immigrants, and, you know, like, our population here is stalling out. I think it started, this flattening is after we passed national supremacy, and before we didn't have that. And it's just pain, man. Because we have really high standard of living relative to our market. You know, if we look at the Russian market, I don't think it tells us the average standard of living, but we could just look at Russia. You know, average SOL is half of ours, but we cannot siphon off enough pops. Got a lot of turmoil as well, which is driven by our radicalism, which standard of living, being fired, but also a lot from discrimination. Yikes. We will throttle this back a little bit to try and throttle this standard of living. Got a lot of turmoil though. Man, we have so much of this though. I'm gonna increase this. Russia is now fighting Austria. So now would be an extra good time to fight them. Let's see what's expensive in the market. It's just electricity, man. Engines are a little expensive. I don't think this engine place is fully employed. I mean, we could go down the chain. So, the knee bone is connected to the thigh bone, right? We can try and make steel cheaper to make engines cheaper. And we could use another industry. Not here, but here. Oh, it is. Alright, let's do steel here, I guess. This will take away from the power plants, but I think that once we get on coal, we'll be fine. Oh, I forgot to swap over the PM anyways. It's such a waste if we research a tech and then don't swap PMs to film art. Which of course uses electricity. Perfect, how we drew it up. The moving pitches. So mass propaganda would be alright, and we don't want interest group trade union. Yeah, so let's just do mass prop. Take a look at our journal. How much to puppet you, my guy? 63 infamy? Yikes. Egypt, Italy, Tunis. I'm not even sure we can win that war. But that means we should be able to... Can we annex? No, soon we can annex Oman. And you, my friend... See, I think a lot of our problem also just stems from the way Russia is doing the trade routes. Like, we're exporting wood, we would not be doing that personally. He's importing tools. Exporting dyes, don't like that. Exporting oil, don't like that. Exporting clothes, fine with that. Don't like the export of iron, but it's small. I guess it's not really Russia's fault. We wanted to deficit spend, but this is starting to get a little painful here. These guys are becoming more and more powerful, and these guys have dipped below what we need them to stay at. Oh, this would be more legitimate? Let's do that. A complete path to liberalism. Alright, so I think that's just because we put this guy in government, so... Fearless visionary, freedom of trade. We don't want radicals. I think we want the reformers. Freedom of trade, freedom of thought. Let's take a look at those journal entries. Yeah, that's not happening. Increase the number of trade routes by... We will be able to do that eventually. Currently, I don't think we have control over that because of Russia. But we are damaging. I think I'll call it an episode here. So far this episode, we're starting to have a little bit of pains in terms of the economy, standard of living, and radicals, and like this sort of stuff. I think a big part of it is we don't have enough migration attraction despite our high standard of living to pull people as a result of national supremacy. Really don't think this law is good. But we can even switch on to like rights of assembly or something, and then switch back just to hit the event chain. That's probably not worth it. But another big thing is, I guess, we vassalized Colombia, and so we are starting to like expand onto the world stage a little bit. You know, trying to pick some good spots. Annexing Colombia will be good. It gives us a border with Venezuela, who we will eventually want to puppet/annex because they have a lot of oil, like this type of thing. But for now, we are still trying to juggle, you know, these interest groups, and we really need to get the communists out of government so that we can get, you know, any party will do, but the block of just two interest groups is just killing us because we need to get these guys out so we can suppress both of them, because we want the trade unions around 20% clout, and we want the armed forces around 5%, and you know, we're struggling a little bit here. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good day.